Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Kevy Kango and welcome back to my Catch 'em All series. Yes, it's true, I am finally back after like a year or two of not uploading anything. So first off, I do want to say thanks to everyone who stuck around. Thanks to my old subscribers for kind of having faith in me that I would return one day, or I don't know, maybe you just forgot to unsubscribe or something. And thanks to my new subscribers too for giving me a chance and checking out my channel. With your help, I'm actually at 2,500 subscribers or so since I last checked, so thanks everyone for your support. Just to briefly explain what the Catch 'em All series is, it's basically this journey I set out where I wanted to catch all 151 Pokemon in Pokemon Red and Blue without trading or anything like that. And I'm pretty much done actually. I've reached my goal. I had to explore a lot of different glitches and mechanics to do so. But I'm pretty much done. I just have a few more videos for this series before I wrap it up and start on my next series. Specifically today, it's a pretty exciting video, but basically I'm going to show you a really easy way to get shiny Pokemon in this game. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is possible to get shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Red and Blue. It's just that they won't show up as shiny because of the black and white, the really simple color palette. It won't show up as shiny until you transfer it into a later game, like Gold and Silver or beyond. You can catch shiny Pokemon in these games, and if you're interested, you can look at my previous video explaining kind of how that works exactly, but I'm not going to go over that today. And if you've ever shiny hunted before, you'll know that it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, so having this glitch is really useful because it minimizes a lot of the time and the work. Some people might think it's cheating though, so kind of depends on where you stand on this, but I'm going to show you regardless and you can decide for yourself. So to do this, you are going to need to know about the 8F glitch. I've covered this before in another video, but just in case, I'm going to place it here again so you can follow along. Feel free to skip this if you already know how to do it. Okay, so like I mentioned, we are going to need the item 8F, and I'll explain more of what that means later on, but for now, just follow these steps. So here's what you're going to need. One Pokemon that knows Surf, as well as the Soul Badge, which you get from defeating Koga in his gym, so that you can use Surf outside the battle. It might also help to have a Pokemon that knows Fly, and of course you're going to need to beat Lieutenant Surge in order to use Fly outside of battle. This will help you get around different places a lot easier. You'll also need 6 items in your bag, including 1 X Special, and an item that you can get rid of through an event, like a fossil or the gold teeth, etc. The X Special is going to need to be in the 6th slot in your bag, so to move the items around, you'll just press select and move them around. Okay, once you have everything that you need, talk to the old man in Viridian City and let them show you, how to catch a Pokemon and such. This will make it so that when you go to Cinnabar Island and surf on this coast, this very specific region here, it'll allow you to encounter a missing node sometimes. It'll take you a few tries probably, but once you actually encounter it, you can just leave right away. You don't need to battle it. And what this does essentially is it increases the amount of your 6th item in your bag by 128. So now that X Special that you placed in your bag in the 6th slot is going to increase by 128, which gives you 129. And we're going to need 255 X Specials altogether, so you'll need to toss 2 to get 127, and then encounter Missing No one more time to get to 255. And so this is going to take a while, so while I'm kind of looking for a Missing No, I'll just explain a little bit more of what 8F is. Essentially, the way that this game was developed, there's certain things that you can do to rewrite the data or the code in the game. You'll be writing the code using the items in your bag and the Pokemon in your party, depending on the arrangement. It kind of tells your game to do something. But you're also going to need like an execute button, like a go button, right? So that's what the 8F button is for. Okay, now you should have 255 X Specials, and you can go ahead and move it over to your 2nd slot in your bag. And I want you to toss everything except for the X Special and the key item, which you probably can't toss anyways. And just notice that the first item actually turns into an X Special itself. Now toss the first item twice, or however many times it takes for the bag to stop responding. And now the bag is broken, great. But don't worry, we're going to reset it pretty soon here. What we'll need to do is give away the key items. So for me, I use one of the fossils, and I'm just going to give it to the scientist right here. And that should reset my bag. Now I'm going to fly to Celadon City and go to this exact spot. I'm going to toss all except for 1 of the first X Special, and I'm going to switch that X Special with the nugget all the way down here, and this is where it gets kind of trippy. Once you're done with that, you can exit and head this way. And make sure to check your bag periodically because the number of steps will give you the number of Fs. So take 8 steps in order to get 8 Fs. Okay, now you have the item. You can just kind of switch it back up with the item up on top, and we're not going to need it right now, so you can just deposit it into your PC. However, what you're going to need to do before moving forward is you need to buy 3 different items so your bag can go back to normal. And that's it for this step. Now we're going to move on to the next step, which is called bootstrapping. So bootstrapping is basically kind of arranging your Pokemon and your items in a way to tell the game what to do. It's basically like writing a certain code for the game to run. So you'll need the following Pokemon in your party. First, you need a Pidgey with 233 HP. I've read that it's only current HP, it's not the full HP, but just in case, I went ahead and made sure that this Pidgey had 233 full HP. You can do this by using a bunch of HP ups or rare candies, which you can multiply using the missing node glitch that I showed you earlier. You'll also need an Onyx, which you can catch in a rock tunnel, victory road, or using the trainer fly glitch. Also a Parasect, which you can get in various ways. You can evolve a Paris at level 24 or catch one in the Safari Zone. This is actually the preferred method because you're going to need a Kangaskhan too, and you can find them in the same region. To make it a lot easier for yourself, you might want to use the Safari Zone glitch, and I have a video showing you how to do that, and I'll link it in the upper right hand corner right here. Also, you're going to need a Tentacool. That one's pretty easy, you can just surf around here to find one and catch it. And that's all the Pokemon you need. And then you're going to need the following items in your bag, and in this specific order too. The first item can be literally anything. Second item is 8F, and then 170 lemonades. Your fourth item is 178 X accuracies, and then 218 carboses, 119 Pokeballs, and finally 201 fresh waters. As you can tell, you're going to need more than 99 of certain items, so you're going to need to use the missing no glitch to make this possible. In case you don't want to do the math, I went ahead and calculated it for you here, so just follow these instructions. So once you're done, you're ready to move on to the next step. But don't worry, the hardest part is already over, so I'm just going to demonstrate kind of how to execute this code using my 3DSs. Congratulations if you made it this far. As you can tell right here, I've got 2 3DSs in front of me. One of them's actually my nephew, so shout out to Alec for letting me borrow your 3DS. The reason I have 2 of them is because, like I mentioned, the shiny Pokemon is not going to show up as shiny in Pokemon Red and Blue, so I actually need to trade it over to Pokemon Gold, which I have here on the right side to make it come out as shiny. On the left side here, I've got Pokemon Blue loaded up. I've got the Pidgey, has 233 HP, Parasect, Onyx, Tentacool, and Kangaskhan. None of their levels or stats really matter. You just have to make sure that your Pokemon are in the specific order and that the last lot is empty. So that's all you need. And then in terms of your bag, here's kind of the basic setup. Doesn't matter what you have in the first slot. Your 8F item needs to be in the second slot, so you can withdraw this from your bag, or from your PC, I mean. Your Lemonade, X Accuracy, Carbos, Pokeball, Freshwater, make sure everything is in this specific order. Now on the right side, there's not really much you need to do, but in order to access the time capsule, you are going to need to be in Ecruteak City, and you have to enter the Pokemon Center so that you can talk to Bill, and he'll give you access to use the time capsule, which essentially allows you to trade from the older game to the newer game. So just make sure you have that all set up before you kind of start doing this. You're also going to need 1 Pokemon to trade with, of course. You have to make sure that this is a Generation 1 Pokemon, so Pokemon that already exists in Pokemon Red and Blue. And it has to have valid moves, like moves that can be learned in Generation 1, essentially. And there is something else cool that you could do with the time capsule too, but I'm going to save that for a different video, so just kind of stay tuned. Now that you have everything ready, you can kind of start using the glitch. So what you need to do is place the Pokemon that you want to make shiny in the very first slot in your PC. I put Eevee in my first slot, so I'm trying to make this Eevee shiny. And this is again in the first slot of my PC, in the very first box. So to make sure that Pokemon is in your first slot, you might need to just kind of withdraw and then deposit to switch the order up. I don't know of an easy way to kind of rearrange the order of the Pokemon, so you might just kind of need to do it the manual way. So about this Eevee, go ahead and take a look at stats. You can take a screenshot, I don't know, or come back to this point, but just take a look at the stats, and you'll notice that this might change later on, or this will change actually. What I'm going to do is go into my bag and use 8F. Okay, now I'm going to toss 1X accuracy. And then this is really important, you need to use 8F again. So what that does is it should have changed all of my Pokemon stats to a 10 DV. So I'm going to check the Eevee again. And when I say change all of the Pokemon stats, I mean just Eevees. So as you can tell here, you might notice that some of its stats look a bit different. And you can kind of see the H bar or HP bar is a little bit off too, but that's not a big concern. So the reason that the stats are so important is that, you know, long story short, the stats are kind of what determines shininess in this game. So you can't tell right now, but this Pokemon, this Eevee, is actually shiny. So all we need to do is trade it over to Gold, my Pokemon Gold game, and then you'll see that it's actually shiny. So you can withdraw this into your party now so that you can trade it. Okay, I'm going to go all the way down to my Eevee. Kind of show you here. I'm going to trade this Eevee to my Pokemon Gold game. And here I'm just going to select the Rattata. And then you basically just need to confirm. Okay, now we just gotta wait for things to kind of happen here. I hope this actually works. I worked really hard on this. I've tried it one time, but... Oh, okay. And you can kind of see here that the Eevee... Oh, it kind of disappeared. The Eevee looks a little bit different than how it normally looks in this game. Whoops. And then if you look into your bag here, it kind of has an item that's irrelevant right now, but you can see that the Eevee is shiny. You can see the little sparkles up here, right? Pull that up closer, and let's go into battle with it. Kind of show it off here. It's one of those times where when I do want to encounter a Pokemon, I don't always get it. Just a regular Hoot. And here's my Eevee, my shiny Eevee. Just black and white, not brown like usual. Look at that. That was pretty cool, huh? I actually had a test run with this using an Aerodactyl. And there's the Aerodactyl, it's shiny. Okay, before I go, there was actually one last thing that I forgot to mention or test out. Even though shiny Pokemon are possible to get in Pokemon Red and Blue, usually the organic way to get them, you can only get certain Pokemon that are shiny. Basically, like, I think Gift Pokemon, I could be wrong on this, but maybe Pokemon that you fish for. But the traditional wild Pokemon that you encounter in the grass, usually you can't get them to be shiny, or at least as far as I know, because of the specific, you know, stats or DVs that are possible. So I wanted to test out whether it would be possible to use this glitch to turn a random wild Pokemon, in this case I'm going to use a Caterpie, which is a very common wild Pokemon that I just caught like south of Viridian Forest just now. I wanted to see if this glitch could turn this into a shiny Pokemon, because, you know, even if you try to encounter it the organic way, you're probably not going to get one that's shiny. So let me, you know, just I'm going to use the same method that I did before. You'll see that I was able to get 178 X accuracy again. So all I need to do is use 8F now to turn that Caterpie in my PC into a shiny one. Okay, and now if I look I should have probably checked the stats beforehand, but it should have turned into a shiny by at this point. And then I'm just gonna try to trade it over to my game. On this game, I'm gonna trade the Caterpie over. And then over here, I actually caught a Growlithe just now, so I'm gonna trade that over. And let's see if that worked. I should have followed the correct steps and everything. Alright, let's look over here. And hey, that actually does look kind of shiny, doesn't it? Oh, kind of went away. Don't worry, I'll check on it right now. Right here. And here's the moment of truth. Oh, it is a shiny. Look, so it looks different, right? It's usually green in this game, and then you can kind of see the little sparkles on the upper right, so that shows that it is shiny. So now why don't we test it out in battle so you can kind of see it up close. All right, let's see. Oh, and there it is. Man, that is beautiful. I actually really like this this shiny version of Caterpie. And then just for funsies, I'm also going to show you Eevee again. Again, it's sparkling. And then just for fun, I'll also show you the Aerodactyl. Man, I picked these shinies specifically because I really liked how they look, by the way. So hopefully you enjoyed that too. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I've only done it a handful of times myself, and I still can't get over how cool it is. So hopefully this is helpful for you. It really does minimize a lot of the time that you can spend shiny hunting. And just like I showed you, I guess this works for on any Pokemon, really, that you can catch in Pokemon Red and Blue and not just gift Pokemon. Because gift Pokemon are one of the only ones that you can just naturally shiny hunt for. You can't do the same for wild Pokemon like in the tall grass. So this is pretty cool. You can get shiny Pokemon that you normally wouldn't be able to get from Red and Blue too. I think Mew's a different story. I'll cover that in a different video. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you find this helpful. A word of caution though, some people might not like this method because they might consider it cheating or something. But I think it's fine if you're just kind of keeping these Pokemon to yourself. You're not trying to trade or deceive anyone. Sometimes it's just nice to have this and enjoy it without going through hours of shiny hunting, you know. Of course, it doesn't compare to kind of persevering through a bunch of attempts to catch a shiny, but it's also just individual preference. Anyways, that's all for today. I do have another video that utilizes this 8F glitch, so make sure to check that out if you'd like. I also have plans to post another one soon. There's actually quite a bit you could do with the 8F glitch, so if you're interested, one place you could start with is the ZZAZZ or Zaz channel. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next time.